Hi guys, another video with Optimized Aesthetics. Today we are going to dive deep into what niching down means. We're going to give a few examples and just really emphasize on the importance of this topic. I first want to speak about what your niche is when you're going to, have somebody look at your page and book an appointment. This is so important to be direct and clear. You can offer multiple services, but in my opinion, when somebody's looking to book an appointment, what are you an expert at? What are you trying to attract when a client is walking through your door or potentially looking to book an appointment?
Yeah, and this is really important early on. So as you grow and as you expand your services, or as your business expands, then you expand your services. And this is something that's very scary when opening up your business. And this is something that I wish we would have done earlier, even though it wouldn't have brought as much cash. That feels really good when you first open up your business, but then you end up doing twice as much work. It's like they say, when you buy something cheap, you end up buying it twice. And I feel like not niching down, you're kind of doing the same thing with clients, is that you're going to end up remarketing yourself and having to rebrand yourself for something different over time. So to give a little bit of example, as we've been talking about this, Victoria and I, as we've spoken about this idea and want to dive in, I do believe kind of your brand and your niche can kind of go together. So your brand, who you are, what you represent, the services that you offer is going to be your niche, right? And I know sometimes it can feel broad that way, but if you're a waxer and you love Brazilian waxes, you don't just have to be the waxer. Mm-hmm. Be the Brazilian waxer. And not only is that your niche now, that is also your brand. That is also something that people who maybe stumble upon your social media, who will never come see you in person ever, will know you as. They'll know you as the Brazilian waxer. Do you have anything to add on to that so far?
It's your expertise. And I do, from a personal level, understand you when you are opening your business, feeling like you have to offer every single service. But in the long run, it is going to cause confusion for your ideal clientele. And I really try to emphasize on the importance of enjoying what you do every single day. So making sure that whatever you want to show up with every single day for work, make sure that it's what you're comfortable with, what you can see yourself doing for years and years in your own industry. So it's just so important to really hone in on that niche that you are going to be an expert in. You don't want to offer every single service, because at the end of the day, you're going to be working so much more and being burnt out. And that's something that we want to avoid in this industry.
Of course. And then from there, I think that was a great point. I think that's a good place to kind of end that point. I want to talk about a few specific niches in our specific kind of genres in the niche of beauty. And as I speak about this, I'd like you to kind of think about it as well, as far as anybody you can think of that's not typical, maybe HydraFacial or Face Reality. But what I want to speak about is somebody in the Patreon mentioned she was starting her business and she was focusing on laser hair removal, if I'm not mistaken. And just a few rough ideas off the top of my head. If we're talking about, if Victoria woke up tomorrow morning and said, Chris, I want to focus on laser hair removal. That's what I love to do. That's what I want to do forever. The few things I would think about there was, in the extremes, the easiest way to start would be, do I want to be the fastest laser hair removal service in town? Do I want to be able to get you in and out the door so quickly with results that you're so happy with that you just want to keep coming back, and you're going to schedule your appointments more frequently, and you're going to go around people and say, I was able to come over there on my 15-minute break and get my entire body laser hair removal and get back to work without anybody knowing, but feeling amazing. That's one direction to go. The other direction you could go is to slow down, is to be the laser hair removal that stands out from anybody else in your niche by going, she takes her time with a service that I've seen other people before. This is where it gets tricky with waxing, laser hair removal. Haircut and color would be a little bit different, and the facials could be different. But as far as like Face Reality Acne Boot Camp would also be in that same realm, is trying to be someone in the space that's like nobody else. And I know this might sound crazy to you. And if it sounds crazy, I know this is even crazier to say, usually mean it's a good idea. If you go, that sounds ridiculous. Everybody around me is getting people in and out as quick as possible so they can see the maximum amount of clients in a day. But what if you decide you don't want to be that and you want to slow down and connect and engage with clients? And trust me, you will get the clients who want to slow down, who want to engage with somebody, who want to, I don't know, talk. You know, everybody loves to talk about themselves, and you could be that place. And as crazy as it sounds in laser hair removal, I do believe that is very possible. I believe that there's value you can add on top of the laser hair removal service by giving away free products that could help post-treatment, scheduling up treatment plans. I don't know, just slowing things down a little bit in a space that feels really hustle and bustle, rush, and kick people out the door.
Yeah, I love that point. I think even just tying it back to any industry, I think it is really important. I know that specifically laser hair removal can be done in and out, like Chris did mention, but you could, I think of the word premium, and that's something that we really are so proud of to bring to this industry. So the thing that I immediately think of is standing out in your niche is being that premium provider for laser hair removal. I know that it's in and out type of services, but you can still have that premium experience. You can showcase your work at, even as simple as somebody coming in, you're offering them that water, that tea, them making it a relaxing experience. I don't specialize in laser, but I would say bringing that different touch in the industry will make you stand out. And so there has, the huge word these days, and something that we really focus on, is the experience of the client. So you can still bring a different experience, and that would make you stand out 10 times more than any other provider around you. So just because it is a laser-based service doesn't mean that you necessarily have to make that a in and out type of service.
Yeah, and when I say you could speed run it, I don't say it like that's what I would do or it's what I recommend it. I think that burnout is a little bit more real when you're trying to speed run clients. There's a lot of money in it. So I do think that is very lucrative if you are trying to build out maybe a multi-location and franchise. Then that might be something you want to lean into, which is just fine. It's not what we personally recommend. We personally recommend is upping the prices and slowing things down, and the clients are happy, and then you as a service provider are much, much happier. So yeah, laser is one of the spaces. Is there anything else that you could think of that's a little bit more niche? I kind of mentioned waxing already, which waxing, I think you could do the same thing. I believe that the waxing industry probably needs a little bit of a flip upside down from a lot of stuff I see on social media. It feels like waxers are really easy to like stack up their schedule because of places like Massage, or it's not Massage Envy, European Wax Center. Those places that kind of, they encourage 15-minute wax appointments, and it makes you feel like you have to keep up with that. And the problem is if you try to keep up with their timing, your prices have to reflect similar to theirs, which means you feel like you can't raise your prices because their prices are there. I rush people out, they rush people out. So yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I do think the premium route is the best route. Slowing things down is really the best for most spaces, unless you just have, I don't know, or everybody's different, right?
If you're trying to target a different clientele, if this isn't something premium and spending more time isn't for you, I would say the fastest glowing skin or the fastest results with no downtime. And that's something that's, the way that you word things in your niche is also very important when somebody is looking to book an appointment. So whatever type of provider that you want to be, make sure when somebody's coming to your page, it's very clear, it's very direct, so that somebody knows exactly what they're getting. They're going to be like, oh, they're taking their time, versus, no, I am a busy woman or man, and I want to get in and out as fast as I can. So there's definitely people for each industry and whatever niche that you're in. But yeah, I think it's really important to really focus on the type of clientele that you want to attract.
Yeah, and I like how you just mentioned that too, the wording, and that goes with niching down. And like I mentioned earlier, niching and branding kind of run hand in hand. So when it comes to, like Victoria just mentioned, the type of clientele you're treating, if it's the speed run clients or if it's the slow down premium clients, think about the words that your clients are saying to you and make sure that those words are at the forefront of your Instagram bio, even your Instagram name, and then across your website, across your service names. I think people really forget that the service names play such a big factor. When they might make it from your Instagram into your booking page, and those services names don't reflect what they had in mind or what they thought you were going to give them. So like Victoria mentioned, like the quickest glow guaranteed, then your facial can be the glow and go. We had an idea. We actually used that for a little while, but it's very simple. But those ideas are things that you should be running with. And I'm not going to try to think of names of waxing or laser hair removal off the top of my head. You guys can use ChatGPT, which is an amazing resource, which we've used a lot of, that can just generate ideas for, even if we don't use them, that can open up our brain to new ideas. But throw some fun words in there and get that branding to match that niche, so that when people come to you, you know what you do, but they need to know exactly what you do and why they're picking you over the competition.
Avoid confusion for the consumer when they are going to book an appointment, because they know exactly what they're getting when they're showing up. And as soon as I niche down, I don't have a problem with that anymore. And so when we talk about niching down, again, you can offer multiple services, but the main thing is when a new client is coming to you, you can specialize in exactly what they're looking for. And then from there, you can branch out in other services. So niching down doesn't necessarily mean you have to stick to one service for the rest of your life, but knowing what you're trying to attract when you are bringing your ideal clientele into your doors, and that the respect is mutual and you are, attracting, again, your dream clientele.
Yeah. When people are confused, they're going to go find somebody else. And we've all been confused as consumers before. It's like some of us, when you see, Asian fusion, you might go, well, I really wanted Chinese food. I didn't want Chinese food and Mexican food. And maybe somebody who they're niching down, somebody who's looking for Asian fusion is going to dive into that.
I don't want
go,
Mexican food and there's cheese pizza on the menu.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking for real Mexican
Trying to
food.
do it all. Don't feel like you have to do it all.
We just want some burritos. It's not that hard. So yeah, you think about the same thing with your business and it will help. There's some amazing people in the beauty space that have niched down. There are some that do very quick services, and there's some that slow things down and make them premium and relaxation. And there's so many pros to both of those things, but those people know exactly who they are. And as they bring on more services, they're mostly bringing them on to just for their clients that are already coming in, that are looking for something more, that their client who's been coming in to relax goes, hey, I want something more treatment based. And they'll bring that on because they have enough clients saying it. But what we see on social media is it feels like they offer everything and have always offered everything. But for the most part, the best of the best in our space have niched down, became the best at one thing, and have expanded over time. And it's exactly what we did.
And just remember, when you niche down and attract a certain type of clientele, chances are that that type of clientele that you attract, they're going to be interested in similar services for when you do go to expand. And you're going to get feedback from those same exact customers. So be patient. Don't feel like you have to offer every single service again, and just make sure that you are listening to your clients, listening to the consumer. And that way you're never going under, and it's always mutual, and it's a very equal relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for niching down, unless you had anything else from there.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please comment down below. I know that this topic can be very confusing and there's a lot to it. So if there's something that we did not cover specifically, please request below. But thank you guys, as always, listening to another course video.
Let me jump in really quickly, bro. You were just wrapping it up. If you are in a specific niche that you want us to specifically talk about, there's lots of people like you that are either in this course already or or will be in this course. So feel free, if this didn't cover one of your things, drop it in there and me and Victoria will marinate on it and make an entire video specific to your niche. If it's something that you're good at, if it's waxing and something in waxing, if it's laser hair removal and something in that, comment it down below.
Injecting.
Yeah, or injecting. Yeah, sorry, I'm going on the waxing thing because that's what somebody mentioned. If any of those things spark an interest and you feel like we didn't have it all the way there, please comment it and we'll make an entire video specific about that niche. And I think it'd be helpful for everybody.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much again. And Chris, thank you for touching on all those topics. As always, thank you. And we'll see you next time.